all just like silent.
Okay. We're good.
And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to episode 99. One away from the big 100.
99.
ZZP Power Hour. I mean, today we're doing a little bit of a controversial one.
Whoa.
We all love mods, but there's definitely some overrated ones.
Uh-huh.
First off, I'm going to light up this Tyler left pinky toe. You're not safe for me. Ryan, he might be louder, but a fifth injector is an amazing mod for multiple reasons. Number one is the obvious one of having additional fueling when you've maxed your DI injectors that are very expensive to upgrade. But number two, you have the cooling effect of spraying the fuel upstream. You have, and then number three, I'm gonna swear first.
I don't make the rules, Tim. I didn't have a choice.
Oh, I hate it. And then number three, you have the valve cleaning of a fifth injector. So it's one of the best.
A big one.
Yeah, that's
upgrades.
probably the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
other than the fuel.
It's like one of the best upgrades for an LNF.
There's not a lot of power mods that also make your engine healthier.
Yeah, more reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max, you don't even have an LNF. He has an LSJ. Does he even have a Cobalt anymore? I think he sold it. I don't know.
I'm assuming he said. Hush. Didn't ask you to speak.
Yes.
My assumption, being that he knows more than he lets people think he does, is that he was asking it facetiously.
Facetiously.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
think he's that deep, though?
He doesn't know he is, but he tries.
Well, anyways, I know Tim and I both got little lists here if we need other topics, but any other that jumped to your head first? Overrated mod.
It seemed like this was equally as foolish as next week because the only worthwhile mod is nitrous and everything else is overrated.
Well, we got that one out of the way.
See you next week.
Wait, I haven't seen Canatelli crack an old joke yet.
Because I one-upped him
he
last
in here?
week. He's writing new material.
He might not be here.
Ooh.
He retired himself.
Arcane Shadows. I didn't even think about that. LS swap.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
Very,
overrated.
yes.
Very overrated.
That is a great one.
I understand why people do them, but
don't.
there
I
is
really
no originality in an LS swap anymore.
No.
The LS swap made the widest under to overrated swing in the shortest amount of time of any mod I can think of.
There was a sweet spot.
There was a sweet spot.
It was what?
In the early beginnings, it was amazing.
Two
Yeah,
or
we could
3
make
years
anything
ago,
fast.
It was like, oh, wow, people are swapping LSs and a lot of stuff. And now everything you watch, like I was watching TRC the other day. They had 4 cars in a row. It was a S2000, a Mustang, a Camaro, and some other Honda. And they were all LS swaps. I'm like, cool, you have a Glide and 1,500 horsepower and you're running 7s. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's really cool, but...
but that's all it can do.
yeah, that's it.
all it can do. Like, what I think is overrated about them is that there are so many people that take sweet engines out of cars to put in stupid LS in it.
Yeah, to put a truck 4.8 or 5.3 in.
Which, when this first started, and it was just dawning on people that there was a seemingly endless supply of 1,000-horse capable junkyard engines to throw in things, I got it at first because it was cost-effective.
Yeah.
But it turned into not that many people do bone stock junkyard swaps anymore.
No.
Now they're building the engines and okay, now you've kind of gone past the value-added feature of it being a cost-effective swap.
Yeah, stock bottom end, make 800 horse, cool.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'm still all for that. Like, if you want to slap together some cheap crap box and make, 700-800, yeah, it's still viable for that. But it transitioned into people thinking, that's how you build a race car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're already taking the engine apart, you could have just taken the engine you already have
Apart. Yeah.
You know what? Of all you guys at this table, I'm the only one that has LS swapped something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huge face palm. Oh,
What
God.
did you have that was LS swapped?
I had a Dune truck.
Oh,
it came with a 4.3 port injected 4.3, and I LS swapped it.
Well, I mean, you're going to do a lot of things that we haven't done when you've lived 8 of our lifetimes combined.
Yeah. I should have just turboed the 4.3 personally, but I just didn't.
Are
6
those
liter swapped
4.3s
it.
good for anything? I know they didn't make any power, but
The factory
They make
tune I think
torque.
it's one of the worst factory tunes I've ever seen.
yeah.
So I tuned it and I was like, holy crap! Like I already bought the Suburban to get all the swap stuff out of. So I'm like, darn it! Like this
It
tune
was okay.
probably enough
Yeah.
for this dune truck. I mean, when you have massive travel, you don't need power anymore. You just hit everything at warp speed. But oh well.
I mean, they trophy trucked them.
Back
They're
in my
a
day.
solid engine.
Yeah.
I've never messed with one directly. I talked to Brian Higgins way back in the day, and he said that they're fine. They just don't flow a lot at high RPM, so you just cram it in down low. Like if you were going for a mid-sized
torquey,
toter,
yeah.
it would do okay.
Yeah, I mean, my truck had 456s and 37s, and it would spin them pretty easily in the dirt.
Wow. Yeah.
Like in any kind of off-road situation, it would spin the tires.
Yeah.
So it was.
It's enough.
Yeah, that's all you need, really.
I think we can even elaborate on LS to V8 to just displacement. Like, I'm thinking 2.4, 2.2 builds.
Yeah.
I mean, or look at the Sonic now, 1.4.
Yeah.
It has its place, but it seemed like there was a while where a lot of people wanted a 2.4 swap stuff because of the extra
Yeah.
displacement, but the in stock form, the LSJ and the LNF and the LDK are just
If
superior
you're in
engines.
some type of racing that requires you to do an NA build, okay.
Right.
Man, I
that-
mean, we're getting off track here, but I mean, I would love to have a 2.4 swap Miata.
Right.
Like, whew, I would like that a lot. But, yeah.
Brad, are you
They were
referring
just
to
a
water
little bit
wetter?
bigger.
Water wetter actually works really well, and if you run water in your race car, just don't leave it over winter.
We should ask Ryan if that makes your ice icer.
Yeah, water wetter's good. That's good because when you're racing, you can't run antifreeze because you can ruin the track with it. But water wetter has all those additives that your water pump needs, those
Yeah.
lubricants that your water pump needs, because your water pump is engineered to use the fluid as some kind of lubrication.
Yeah, and water
Doesn't have
do
that. So
Oh, man, someone said 2J. Go ahead, Tim. Get it out.
you pretty much. That one, I don't know. I do like 2Js. I'm not. I like a 2J over an LS swap. So
I think your hatred from 2Js stemmed from the era of them gaining a lot of popularity was filled with mostly dyno queens.
yeah.
They don't
Agreed.
have to be dyno happy
No.
queens and turds, but that's what most people seem to build for the entire 2000s.
Yeah. All you'd hear
like-
about is 2,000 horse Supras, and
Yeah.
it would have a power band that was unusable, and
Yeah, I mean Ross, our welder here, is 2J swapping a freaking E46
that's
BMW.
a cool swap.
Oh,
But
I
he's gonna
can't wait.
put an appropriate turbo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. He's
Yeah.
talking about making maybe 500.
Yeah.
With a small a GT35 or something like that is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to have a lot of spool. That
All the
car is
cool
going to
sounds.
be really cool.
It fixed it. Fix that 323.
It was broken.
But I'll get into one. Larger throttle bodies in a turbo car. Okay, everybody. A larger throttle body on a supercharged car is a good idea because your throttle body is the smallest point in holding the rotors back from sucking in more air. So larger throttle body on a supercharged 3800, supercharged LSJ, great upgrade. Larger throttle body on a turbo car, don't forget the air flowing through the throttle body is compressed. So it is already more air. You're not. It's not like atmospheric air going through the throttle body. So a larger throttle body on a whatever, not needed. Throttle body spacers, overrated. There is. The intake manifold is plastic. This isn't like a 1980s vehicle that you're using as some thermal barrier between the carburetor and the aluminum intake that's bolted onto the heads.
What's a carburetor do?
Carburetes.
It's got a bowl and some fuel, and something happens, and
Yeah. Yeah, it makes cool noises.
But I
guess,
know-
when, you floor it, when the 4 barrels kick in.
I know if you sit there and you pump the gas 8 times because it looks cool, they don't start anymore. I learned that.
Well, you gotta find the appropriate amount of pumps.
Yeah.
Because
Sometimes
those old
you-
ones, they
2 or
need a
3
couple.
Yeah, you don't
Couple
know
bumps.
You don't know that when you're like 7.
I don't think I've ever driven a carbureted car.
What?
I don't think I have either.
I don't think I have.
I've driven motorcycles, but not a car.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I'm trying to think back to.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started
I mean, I
driving,
barely have.
This is
I don't think so. Nothing.
Oh, Eric, scroll back up a little bit to the guy that said he compounded a 1.4.
Oh, yeah, I
Richard
wanted-
something.
I wanted to grab
I'm
that, too.
assuming that's the same one that we'd seen some pictures of recently.
Yeah, keep going. Up,
Yeah,
right there.
Richard
Dion,
Dion, I'm guessing.
are you
Sorry
the
if
guy
that's
on
wrong.
Instagram with the giant fender flares and the cool
that's
compound
right.
setup?
Yep.
Because we'd like to know more.
Yeah, give us more
sweet.
details.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
think it's fairly well known. I'm a big fan of turboing turbos. So
And what perfect of an engine to do it to than a 1.4 engine.
Yeah.
So
you need to squeeze it down. But hey, if you want to chat about it or have any ideas or have learned any cool things you want to share, be more than happy to entertain that conversation. Just shoot me an email, alan.m@ZZPerformance.com.
Matt, yes. K-series swaps are also getting overrated. They put them in everything.
They are kind of. He's
They're
right.
expensive.
They are really
there you go.
pricey now.
They are K-swapping S2000s.
Yeah.
That's
Ah,
disgusting.
He's a different guy.
Oh, really?
Well, that's cool. There's more than one.
Wow.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Well, Tim's right though. I mean, if you're gonna be crazy enough to do it,
It makes
it's one of the
sense.
best
Yeah.
things to do it on.
Yeah. Something teeny cubes.
Gutting your car. That's a good one.
Shut up.
Gutting something that you drive on the street is dumb.
Yeah, that's beyond overrated.
I've lived with a half gutted car. I've lived with a gutted car for a while, and it is dumb.
I
now,
can do the trunk and maybe the back seat.
is it the most cost-effective mod to go faster? Yes, because it doesn't cost anything to go lighter.
I like carpet in a dash and door cards. Beyond that, I don't care. I dailied my car for like 3 years with the back half gutted.
Yeah,
I like
back
that
half gutted isn't too bad.
with a proper rear seat delete.
Like a nice.
Yeah, that
carpeted-
would have helped.
Like what Ryan has.
Yeah.
That-
and my base model.
Yeah. Oh, you
Like-
have one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I just use cardboard, honestly.
Yeah,
I
it
bought
works.
some corrugated plastic, and it was a little too flimsy, so I was like, look at this piece of cardboard right here. So I double layer cardboard, and then I just spray adhesive carpet to it, and it worked out really well. I still got to pin the carpet in to like get rid of the puckers and stuff yet, but I bought the screws to do that, so it'll be. I might even tackle that this
It's
weekend.
only stupid if it don't work.
Yeah, pedal covers seem a little dangerous.
Yeah, pedal covers. Somebody mentioned caliper covers. That's
Yeah.
I don't really know anyone who would think that is a good mod because
Yeah.
they're all 65 plus and they put them on their Camaros. But yeah, no, not good.
Yeah. Anything that says cover
Whoa.
can
Whoa.
only be in an engine bay.
The green ZZP hoodies are not overrated. They are underrated.
Excuse me.
Well, which ones?
Those are our favorite ones.
That's like
both
the
of 'em.
comfiest hoodie we've had in so
Both of them
long.
are great.
The old green one. Wasn't my favorite. Got too much cat hair in it.
It
The new
does,
one is
it does
the
attract
best
a lot of
shirt
hair.
we've ever
The
done.
black kind of fades on it.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you can't really
wash
tell.
it kind of disappears, I guess. But
No,
our newer green
You're
one
right,
is amazing.
Max. Crown Royal shift boots are overrated.
Yep.
That was cool for like 5 minutes.
I feel like if anyone does those anymore, they're stuck in 2006.
Yeah.
You guys keep it up, and I'm gonna do that to the base model. Like the base model is a perfect car for stuff like that.
He's
like
mad
I love
because
that
he was
idea.
already planning it, probably.
No, that's awesome. Like that might have to happen.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
You gonna do the classic purple Crown Royal, or are you gonna do Crown Apple so it's white?
I think it's got to be classic, unless like if I did the classic one, it's funny. If I did the new one, that means I was trying too hard.
Yeah, that's also true.
Pedal commanders. I know Ryan Derrick loves them. But yeah, I'm not a fan of pedal commanders. Your tuner can do pedal commander things.
Or your foot.
Yeah, or your foot. Just quit being a wuss.
Push it.
I mean, that's kind of what my foot is
You
a
know
pedal
what, though?
commander.
Some of these darn customers
People.
need pedal commanders because they don't floor their cars. You guys are killing me.
That never ceases to amaze me.
It's pretty amazing.
Like, I will get scans, and the throttle will be bouncing between, like, 80 and, like, 98%. Like, come on, push the pedal
How do you
down.
get that close without flooring it?
I'm still sticking with all their seats are too far back, and they literally can't reach any further.
It could be.
That's the
Man,
only
I don't
thing
know.
I can think of. Yeah.
Way far back, I guess.
Like, I'll have people, and they're like, oh, my boost is moving. And I'm like, your foot is moving. Like, do you not understand how turbo cars work? Like, they don't make boost if you don't floor them all the way.
Yeah, Jeff, you know how to floor your car. I sent him the first two, and I'm like, here, just give me, like 1 gear a watt. And he's like, here's 17. All right, it's good. Yes, Max, catless downpipes are 100% overrated.
Yep.
Agreed.
Completely unnecessary. It's hurting aftermarket companies everywhere
Yes.
And look,
to have them.
every single one of us thought they were necessary
Yes.
for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like, we didn't want to accept that you needed friggin' government finger up your car.
Yeah.
But we tested it. And there's like a negligible power difference until you're at an extreme build level on every single platform we cover.
Yeah, like when, Zoom, the owner of ZZP, grew up with nothing, started ZZP on a credit card budget and, built a successful company. But he's pretty good at, I guess predicting the future. And there was a day where he pretty much sat us all down and said, I foresee bad things happening. And they could potentially happen to us. So every single one of you MFers put cats on your cars. You got like a week to get a cat on your car, or don't park it in our parking lot. And like, I was one of the people, I don't know how everybody else was, but I was a little upset. I had like, maybe 2 or 3 catless vehicles at the time. And I was upset. And then I put cats on them, and I was happier with every single one.
Yeah.
It sounded better.
They
It smelled
they
better.
stink less.
Like,
I think the smell alone is worth it.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I am 100% on catted downpipes, and they don't hurt horsepower at all.
Yeah.
And until the cat clogs, I guess. But I mean, that just depends on
And
driving style. And
If you're, say, have a 600 wheel horsepower Chevy Sonic, it's not drivable on the street anyway. So then you can
Yeah,
do a
yeah,
hood
it's a little
dump,
different.
But yeah, I had a catless downpipe on my base model for 2 weeks.
Gained a whole whopping quarter horsepower, probably.
And it was too loud and too raspy, and so I put a cat back on.
it was amazing.
And it was
Going
great.
off that, we can just quick touch on resonator deletes, muffler deletes, all the
Yep.
deletes.
Muffler deletes, so overrated. Man, sounds like crap. Like we've talked about this a few times. Like, I don't care what vehicle you have, it sounds better with some kind of muffler system on
Something.
it.
Every single car.
Like everything.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless you want a top fuel dragster, maybe sounds better. But like, who has one of those? So, like, that's just to argue if
Yeah,
you bring that up. But like, even muscle cars, big block muscle cars, still sound better with mufflers
With a muffler.
on
100%.
You know?
There are cars that don't sound bad straight piped,
them. Agree.
but they still sound better with an appropriate muffler.
Yep.
If in your brain you have to have a straight pipe, it has to be on a turbo car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if there are any crazy people out there and they decide they want to do a muffler delete LNF, I will support only one of you because I need an LNF muffler to put on my muffler delete LNF I bought.
Yep.
So,
And my LNF also has a full straight pipe, and it is horrible. I've driven it around the block, and that's it. Even starting it up, I started up, and I'm like, ugh, this is
Yep.
good.
There's a lot more overrated mods than
Yeah.
I had originally thought.
yeah,
I'll,
that's a lot of good ideas.
The comments are just flinging them out
This
there.
this isn't exactly a mod, but 600 wheel horsepower Cobalt. Overrated.
That period is overrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because 99.9% of people aren't going to use it for an application where 600 horsepower would work.
Yeah.
You know.
On a front
And they're not gonna
light car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to complete the package
Yes.
to make it
like,
work.
Like we were talking about. Nobody's going to be running around with 28-inch slicks on the front of a Cobalt.
No, that's the thing. You fit as much tire as you realistically could on a street drivable car, and you're still not going to start using your 600 till maybe third gear.
Yeah.
If you have really good tires in a hot day and a good road,
Yeah.
you might start using all of it in third.
Yep.
And then what? You're going to do third, fourth gear rolls, so you're going 130? Like, who I don't know.
I don't know. 15 years ago, I was into it, but it's just not appealing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's crazy is, like, you, Al, even have, like, really cool traction control.
Yeah.
Like, and you're over it still.
If I was,
And you have
if I
that.
was gonna do street stuff, I'd set it up perfectly for it. I just don't. I'm good. I'll go to the airport.
Yeah. 600 wheel horsepower people on OE suspension.
We see that
And all seasons.
Yep.
And all seasons. Yep.
with weather check cracks.
Yep.
That's happened
6-year-old.
several times.
Yep. Chips.
Yeah. I don't even know if you can call
I was
that
gonna
overrated because
Are they even relevant anymore?
you can
Yes.
still
You
There
can
are
still
OB
get them.
There are OBD2 plug-in
Uh-huh.
things that claim horsepower gains.
Well,
What was that one recently for the LTG? Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but Race Chip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
the
it's-
original company.
Yeah.
I think.
And
600 horse Cobalts are the official car. If somebody still says hot water heater, I'm 100% on board with that. Dude, there's people here
Hot
that
water
know
heater.
better, and they still say it, and it drives me insane.
so this is a bit of a side tangent, but I got one of those automated calls. You know, they're trying to sell you car warranties or all this. I got one the other day, and I answered, and I talked to the lady for a minute, and she goes, "Okay, can I please have your VIN number?" And I just said, "VIN," and she goes, "Yes, VIN number." I said, "No, it's VIN." She goes, "Okay, what is it?" VIN.
It's VIN.
It's VIN.
VIN. Vehicle
And
identification
she
number.
couldn't get it. And I said, the number's already in the name. And she goes, "Oh, okay. Great, thanks. Can I have your VIN?" And I said, "Nope." And hung up on her. I kept her going for so long. And then just click.
She's probably going to say just VIN to
I-
every person.
I hope you
Wow.
improved her life.
I've changed her life for the better. So
Yeah,
anyway.
VIN is the most common one around here, followed by hot water heater and ATM machine.
ATM machine.
That one gets
Yep.
me.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyla, smallest pulley.
Yep.
Pretty
Ooh.
obvious.
Wow. Good one. Very, very, good.
Very overrated.
Yep.
You know I'm on team Big Pulley.
And spray it.
17.
And spray it. I don't think it's a team, but everyone always posts on the groups. They're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy the Stage 3 kit. What pulley should I get?" I'm like, 3-1,
The
the
biggest,
biggest one you can buy.
I do love listening to Ryan yell at people on the phone when he finds out they have too small a pulley for their setup.
Oh, no, man. You don't want to do that.
Especially 3800 guys, because they always under pulley or over pulley it.
I got stock injectors and a short stack and a 2.6.
And he's like,
Oh, boy.
"No, dude, take that off your car right now." And they always have some, come back, and he's like, I don't care. Take it off your car."
Not trying to be rude. I know more than
Like,
you.
you guys, and it was worse, too. Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
it was, like, in 2002 when I was answering phones, like, yeah, like, people bought a tune and a 325 pulley for their
You guys
GPs.
couldn't sell 3-inch pulleys fast enough. I'm sure.
Back when we still sold 2.5s for the Cobalt.
Yeah.
People were buying those left and
2.5s,
right on
yep.
pump gas stage 2 kits. Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
The LSJ engine sucks.
It's like, for those of you that like aren't real familiar, it's kind of like building a high compression engine for 87 octane.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing it wrong. This could make more power in a different setup, not yours.
I got another one here going off old things. Twin charging.
Yes. Nice
It
one.
was cool for a while, and served a purpose for a minute.
I wouldn't say a while. It was cool for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we pulled it off, and the car gained like 40 horsepower. And we're like, all right, well, I guess that's never
Problem
going back on
solved.
there.
Yeah.
Turbos are just better. Like
They are. If you could fabricate a new LSJ intake manifold that somehow flowed a lot better and still had some solid cooling, then it might be reasonable.
Well, before
but-
I started here, I helped 2 people do it. But before guiding them through the process, I made sure they both understood, like, we're doing this just for fun. It is not going to set the world on fire. It's not some new awesome discovery. It's not the most amazing thing ever. But if you want to do this for fun, we can make it work. Like, it's okay.
man, it just makes a burnout. Like all the car does is burn out. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're just not as fast on the top end. I mean, it was neat, but it was nothing I would ever build. Like if somebody was like, I want to do this, it would be fun to drive the car around, but I would never build one myself.
Nah.
So Alex would love a twin charge car.
Probably.
Oh my! A set of tires would last him like a weekend.
He does love burnouts.
Loves them.
Man, he burns tires on everything.
Oh, him and Brandon Esquivel. Brandon loved
yeah.
doing burnouts too.
Every day.
Every day.
single
He would come
day.
in with his truck and he'd do a burnout right up front and then take off.
Yep.
Also, to join the burnout club, only since he's gotten his Miata, Noah. That dude leaves 11s all the way out onto 28th Street every day he leaves, and I love it. Because that Miata is so much fun to drive.
Man, it is.
And I will agree with him. So, overrated mods, Turbo Miata. At least a Mazda Speed one.
Yeah.
Because unless his car is screwed up, that Mazda Speed turbo kit sucks.
I'm going to go, I haven't driven any, so I'm just talking, but any Turbo Miata. Because I think part of the greatness is the NA.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And that's why a 2.4 NA Ecotec would be perfect. Because you'd be quick enough where you don't have to worry about getting smushed merging on the highway. But
Yeah.
you would keep the fun NA-ness to it.
yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that turbo kit sucks on that car. It's a cool car, but no bueno. Twin charged and aircraft motor. Turbo kept the SC in air
Whoa.
as altitude. Oh,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, we only deal with 2 axes with our vehicles.
Yeah.
Couldn't
There's
imagine
not a
that.
third one.
Yeah.
Although, on that note, that was one of the main reasons I compounded my car again, is because I was planning on running the half mile
Colorado,
at Pikes Peak. And that was my cheat code for keeping my power.
Mm.
But now I'm not. So.
Man, Tyler's left pinky toe. He's just going for it. He's just. Who's gonna get him on that?
LSJ I'm on team LNF seats are better than LSJ.
Yeah, no,
Recaros.
he's wrong. The LSJ Recaros are
Oh,
the best.
yeah, we
They're
never
the
went out
best.
and tested the bolsters after last week.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all forgot.
We did.
We'll probably forget this time, too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna forget that.
We're just going to have to believe Tyler.
Gasoline
Yes.
is overrated, yes.
Mhm.
E85 is the answer to everything.
I saw someone earlier comment E85 is overrated, and I am not.
They should be
I'm
banned.
not.
Al
Yeah.
needs to run his car with salt flats.
I can't even put a sentence together.
You broke him.
TJ Hall. You're speaking my language. See team base model up there.
Yep.
I like it. Contact us. Like make it turn.
Yeah.
Make it turn
suspension.
and take it somewhere you can turn where you can legally turn corners.
Sway bar, coilovers,
Yeah.
cab bushings because they're probably blown out. Oh no, I said cab bushing. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put it in the jar. It's a
it
swear
up
word.
here.
Should you replace your LCA arms while you're in there?
CA arms.
Oh, that's double bad.
Yeah.
Al, I got one for you because we were just talking about this recently. I guess you can go more on it, but specifically oil coolers and to jump on that cooler size in general.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, so we were on a tangent rant the other day, semi-related to this. Stop putting giant oil coolers on your street cars, please. because it's hurting you. People do this, and what I was explaining to the guys that were asking about this is to do it properly on a street car, you have to run an aftermarket oil thermostat. The problem with that is
They
the
cost
good
as
ones
much.
cost as much as the rest of the entire setup. So no one wants to do that. They just want to buy the adapter plate and run AN lines to the biggest cooler that they can afford so that it looks really cool.
Obviously.
So your oil never
gets up to temp, so the fuel and water blow by, because every engine has blow by, no matter how perfect it is. All just settles down in your oil, and you're going to wipe your bearings out. So either don't do it or do it right.
Or you lose power due to it like being harder.
Well,
to
you're going to
move that
lose
oil.
power too, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And you
it's-
lose a little oil pressure too by adding more.
You can see power difference on the dyno just by changing weights when
Really?
you're going from one extreme to the other.
Yep.
Well, I mean that is why we run that water.
We
oil.
run zero weight in the drag Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, just go put 2050 oil in your vehicle and go start it on a 20-degree day.
Or Matt running straight 50 in his old Honda.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
would barely even run in the wintertime until it warmed up.
It was
Yep.
just sludge.
He said he'd get out on the street and floor it, and it would just
But why?
because it leaked really bad, and it leaks slower.
That is some beautiful engineering
That's
there.
some beater car stuff.
Yeah, that's beater car stuff. Adam Project, I saw you mention the nuts on your sway
I
bar
saw that too.
links on the video as well. Shoot me an email. Maybe we get you some replacements or something.
Yeah, send some pictures because we don't.
I've
really
I've
see
never
that
seen
issue,
them come
so-
loose, but
So you can. I saw the trans cooler like having too large a one.
If
no,
you don't have a thermostat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the factory like transmission already has a thermostat on it. So like let's say you reroute your tranny cooler lines to a bigger tranny cooler, then it's fine because the factory thermostat is going to only allow so much fluid.
Well, the way this actually got all brought up was by Trevor's rally art. He had put a larger trans cooler on it. And apparently, like
been
you were just saying, it
struggling
does
all
not
winter.
have a thermostat.
Like
Oh.
30 minutes driving around wouldn't even go up in temp. It was like a problem, and I was like, should I block off the vent, do something?
put some cardboard and
Ended
in
up
the bumper.
swapping back to stock cooler. Perfect.
oh jeez,
Ta-da.
dang.
Yep.
Yeah, like a Grand Prix has a thermostat thing, so you can
Yeah,
put a big
it's
tranny cooler on it.
thermostatic, then you're good because it blocks it off until it's up to temp, and then
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, you
know.
gotta have a cooler the size of the moon. If the thermostat's closed, it's not pulling any heat out.
Yeah.
Bo was a huge advocate for massive trans coolers on the 3800s.
Well, that thing is on a mission to create neutrals any chance it gets. You have to keep the fluid cool.
Ooh, Trevor,
Ooh. Yep.
sunroofs are 100% overrated.
Yep.
Especially if it's a mod, meaning you installed one.
Oh,
That's the worst choice.
that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
There were shops that would do
Yes.
sunroof installs or moonroof installs,
Bring it in,
and they would always
leak.
leak.
Yep.
Gotta stick my head out of the moon top and stretch my gams.
When
Plum honey, take the wheel.
too, and got the like push up
Yep.
with the prop.
With the little proppy. Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my sister's Beretta had one of those.
But they are heavier. They decrease headroom. They leak always at one point, whether it's the drains or the sunroof itself.
Yep.
They're noisy.
And to those first 2 points you said, like we always say heavier, take up headroom, and people think it's like millimeters and ounces,
No,
but it's like
3 inches.
40 pounds and 3 inches.
Oh
yeah.
like
That-
They're heavy.
I tried to reinstall a sunroof assembly in my Ion by myself once. It was not fun. I was laying down with it on my feet, trying to get up and
I wish I could have seen that.
I was full laid back in the seat with the feet holding it up and trying to zip it in. Oh, it was bad
and then you're at that moment where you realize you can't go back.
Yep.
So you're
because I got a sunroof on my feet. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Put this back down?
And
No.
you got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking around the garage. I'm like, what can I make a sunroof delete out of? Is there anything in here that might work? No. Put it back in. But yeah.
I got one more big one that I kind of recently learned in the fab department. Overrated mod is pie cuts.
Why
Which-
do you say?
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of pie cuts, but like now we have our super gangster mandrel bender and everything, and we're like, as minimal welds as possible. Well, one for cost, but
yeah.
reliability. Like, every weld is technically a failure point.
Yep.
So, like, you look at pie cuts. If you're building a full send car for one event and a pie cut fails, like...
That would suck.
Seems like a lot of work when we have a CNC Mander bender that can bend whatever perfect angle you need.
They do look cool, but...
They do.
They do look
and
cool.
it's nice. There have been situations where I needed to do a compound curve. And the only way you can do that is with the pie cuts. But anyone who's ever fabbed their own turbo kit, you use as few pie cuts as you can because it takes so much time.
Yep. Mandrel over pie cuts.
Yeah. Although they do look neat.
I've always
They do
wondered
look cool,
if
especially in titanium where you have to use them.
there is a flow thing with the weld on the inside. Because it's
Well,
not smooth, right?
that and it's flat angle, flat angle, flat angle.
Not
So the
an
air
actual-
is constantly having to change directions, which it's not a fan of.
Not like a golf ball.
Not like a golf ball.
Nah.
What if you micro dent your...
Now you're talking. Dimple port the inside.
Yeah,
of
I
your
get
pie
one of
cut
those
bend.
like things that you roll over pizza, but do it in the
Just
tube.
shoot it with the
There you go.
shotgun a few
Oh
times.
my gosh, this went left. Oh, so bad.
What else you got on your list there, Tim?
Heavy wheels.
I don't know if anyone would say that those are good and not overrated.
I don't know.
Here's the
I
thing.
have heavier wheels than
So-
stock on mine.
Well, yeah.
So let's say you have a car and you're like, I want to put wheels on it. If you're not asking what the wheel weighs, like, no. Like, wheel
yeah.
weight is like one
It
of
is
the first
it is
things.
pretty key.
That wheel weight is an underrated statistic.
Yes.
It is.
Severely.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Like-
worst part is manufacturers lie about it, too. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. I
Like-
didn't realize how big of a difference it make till I felt it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my-
power-wise on a car.
Yep.
Going from my my old the multi-spoke end keys on the base model to the winter wheels, so it was an 18 by 8, like a 215 45 18, down to the little 15-inch snow tires
Oh,
that
yeah.
I've got on. Whole world, it's a whole new car. It feels so much faster.
One of these, like, YouTube channels that does the, like, 6-car lineup drag races needs to do identical brand new cars
Oh.
with, like, a 30-pound wheel,
Oh.
20, 50.
Wow,
like,
that would be good.
would be
I'm sure
sweet.
someone has done
I
it.
was just
But
thinking
that would
as
be
he was
good.
talking too, we could take Ashley's car and dyno it and then swap your RPF ones on it. We could just
Probably weigh half.
we could just block the dyno lift and just raise the car right up on the dyno, swap them out.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'd be
and-
cool to see.
For you guys that aren't familiar with the two cars, Ashley's rotiforms weigh, 27 pounds a piece, I think I said last week?
28, yeah, something
20,
like that.
27, 28 pounds a piece.
In an
My-
8.5.
My wheel is a half inch wider, an inch smaller, but it's 15.9 pounds.
Also,
You can-
Like-
your wheel has the appropriate number of spokes. Hers is like one of those freaking Airdyne bikes on the dyno, just fucking shooting tornadoes out the sides.
Now, to be fair,
To be fair,
she didn't she order RBF ones before those rotiforms, but they weren't the right.
Ooh, I don't remember.
I
that.
don't remember
She
that.
got some wheel,
And it was wrong.
and then it was wrong, and then she had to send it back. And
I
then
mean,
it
my
ended up-
RPF ones were wrong.
Well,
Like, it
yeah.
required some work to make them to.
I don't know
fit,
what
but-
she's planning next for wheels, but I know she's ready for a change.
I'm gonna grab 2 before I forget.
Shut up, Randy. I'm gonna hate on them because they're dumb.
Jason, yes, we have aluminum bends. Those should be on the website soon. Matt B, shorty antennas are overrated.
Antennas are overrated. It's 2023, old people.
Oh, I know, but so hear me out. I had the big long boy antenna on the base model for years and years and years. I never used the radio, but I cut it down and it's just a little shorty now, and it looks better, yes. But every time I get in the car and I'm going, across the street or something, and I don't want to get the phone out and plug it in, do the CarPlay and turn that on, it would be nice to have some sort of radio.
You're telling me that
Not
thing
just-
does not have a Bluetooth radio? My base model has a
No, it does
frickin'
have Bluetooth.
There you go,
It's
man.
just not set up.
Autoplay. Mine's set up.
But
I
there-
just get in there.
There's no. I thought I would have some semblance of radio left. there's nothing.
Well, the manufactured shorty antennas work better than the cut ones.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I cut off because it twirls around, so I'd probably cut off 3 feet of antenna.
Well,
Bill Kish used to build 2-stroke pipes. Of course he did. What haven't you done, man?
He did.
Yeah, my base model has a duct tape antenna. That's called removing the antenna and then putting duct tape over it.
I noticed that the other day. I parked next to you and I go, he's just got tape on it. That's it.
I mean, I want to get some red vinyl stickers to like cover the hole, you know. But
Why bother at
just
this
get one of
point?
just get like a marine cap and paint it red. I don't know. Stick it in there. Al's ball joints are very underrated.
I don't know what that means.
I think he's referring to your caster plate, or he could be making a sexual reference.
I was
don't
going
know.
for the caster though.
Yeah, that's what I was going
And
for.
knowing him, the sexual reference is a
Yeah.
viable option.
You know, I mean, his name is Tyler's left pinky toe.
Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to be putting up some pictures.
I am not above selling feet pics for money. If anybody really
None of
wants
us
to get
are,
in on
Let's
this,
be honest.
no kidding.
I'm on the fence. I don't know.
you don't have to reveal your identity. It's just a foot. If somebody wants to give me $50 for a picture of my foot, I'm giving him a picture of my foot.
For sure.
See? Tyler's a genius.
I'm taking the picture with somebody else's phone though, because not.
I'm actually going to take it with a film camera and have it developed and send you prints. So there's no way to trace it.
And you could like sign it by like just stamping your foot on it, and then
Get some ink stamp and do your toes. Oh, man. That went left
For
again.
those of you that just tuned in, we're talking about our side hustles, apparently.
I got another one. Carbon fiber vinyl.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that in the chat too.
Someone
did
mentioned
they?
it, Yep.
Yeah.
Overrated and overpriced.
Overrated. It doesn't lay well,
And
so
it
it
adds
almost never
weight.
looks good, and it adds weight. So you're actually doing the opposite of what carbon fiber should do.
I hate it. I hate it. If it's not real carbon fiber, no.
I think exposed carbon is usually overrated too.
What about that hybrid cheap stuff that's fiberglass core with just a single carbon layer?
Like every carbon
Aftermarket
fiber hood.
that
out
weighs
there?
more than a stock aluminum hood. Those ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
What?
pretty much
You seen
overrated.
those?
No.
I guess it's more
That's
common than I
disappointing.
realized in the affordable carbon fiber product range. It makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Like
if you're
you
just
see
doing
a
it for
cheap,
looks.
real carbon fiber hood, it probably weighs more than your stock hood because they're 90% fiberglass with one layer of carbon.
It
on
looks
top.
real and it looks good. If it's a show car and you're saving a few
Yeah.
bucks,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
And or it will delaminate on the highway at 120 miles per hour.
Well, that too. Gosh, that
can
happened so fast I didn't even see it. It just where'd it go?
Yep, spider headlights.
So-
Overrated.
I gotta say it. All aftermarket headlights overrated.
Kinda.
I'm pretty much on
They
Trevor's
all
team.
And
break.
someone had said HIDs a while ago too, and I agree. There's severely over.
That's another one
I
that
can't talk.
had its moment, and it was a very short moment, and then LED
It was a very short
technology
moment.
came. And
Well, they're putting LEDs on factory cars now
Yeah.
because the bulbs are dumb cheap, and you can get as much light, and if you shape the housing right, as far as an HID.
On that note, what else is overrated is half LED bulbs.
Half LED.
Like the low is LED and the high isn't.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand it.
Mine's a 2020 Subaru. It has halogen front bulbs, and then the day runners are LED.
well, they
Huh.
do that because they're still struggling with distance on LEDs.
And,
okay.
and
that
heat.
makes sense.
You can't
Oh.
heat up headlights with LED.
So,
So
they
you
won't
get
melt the
yeah,
ice
if
and
they're all
stuff.
iced over.
Okay, there's a reason. I
There's
suppose.
a whole trust me, I joined all the Chevy Bolt forums. They are upset that their car does not get rid of the ice on the headlights because it has
Well,
LEDs.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Something you would have never thought of, but
Go ahead, Max. You do that.
A proper projector retrofit is nice for 1 year.
they literally all fail.
That
Yeah.
they will all leak, they will all get hazy, the clear coat will peel,
Condensation.
condensate like they're yes, they are cool in theory.
I do not have large bulbs.
But
they might be 90% the quality of OEM, but that last 10% is just
Yeah.
it'll last for 25 years.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Oh no, Adrian taillights are not overrated. That's a hill I will die on. That is my favorite aesthetic mod on my Cobalt are the taillights. Those are
Yeah, I
cool.
like those too.
those haven't really ever.
I would
gelled to
agree
either.
with them, but that's just because of my cost effectiveness method
yeah.
is much different than yours.
It is, and that's probably the most expensive thing I've ever bought for that
Yeah,
car.
and I look at that and I'm like, well, my stock ones work, so
So we
why
got
would I do that?
10 minutes left. We'll mix it up a little bit just because I know people will get heated. What is overrated mod cars?
Ooh.
Just the car in general. Platforms, cars.
Oh.
5th gen Camaro.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one.
Corvettes.
They looked cool until the 6th gen came out, and then we're all like, oh, gross.
Yeah. Especially the early 5th gens have aged horribly. If you see one like a 2010 running around, no
Especially a
good.
V6 with them sweet steelies.
Yeah, where did all those go?
I don't
Wasn't there
know.
like
People were embarrassed.
a billion of them?
There
got
was
rid
a
of 'em.
lot of them. The 2014, 2015 ones still look okay, but you get to the 6th gen Camaro and it's a whole
Man,
different world.
That
Except for
that
the Z28.
Yeah, the Z28 5th gen is
Yeah,
that's a sexy car.
That's a baller car.
Sorry, Randy, I disagree with you.
FRS BRZ. I have no stake in the game, so I would probably go with overrated until you get to the newest year where they actually bump the power up a little bit. Because they were too slow. They were Prius slow
See,
in the 1st gen.
magazine, like if you magazine vote on it, yeah, overrated. But driving one,
I've never
It's a
driven one.
modern
like-
Miata, right?
it's a modern S2000.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Like it's
But it
just a revised new S2000. Honda, bring it back.
What were we talking about? My brain turned off for a minute.
BRZ.
BRZ.
Oh, I was.
I don't think we
I
ever
was
said
still
it.
like 2 comments back.
BMWs, yeah, more overrated than underrated.
Yeah.
But the ones that are underrated are severely underrated.
Like the 318 Ti?
Yes.
Yes.
I own a BMW. BMWs are underrated for sure. It's like the best car ever made.
Especially the turn signals. Why would you put something on a car that you don't use?
Is that even true? Is that even a true thing?
Seems like it.
I don't know. I was behind an Impala yesterday who didn't use them at all. It's definitely not just BMWs.
Why
Jeeps.
is everybody talking about Jeeps?
Jeeps
Yes.
are overrated.
Yeah.
I hate
Jeeps
them.
are dumb.
They still have straight axles.
It's 2023, and they
Like-
still have straight
Well,
axles.
especially now if you can afford a Bronco and you still buy a Wrangler.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
You're really dumb.
I do like a good square key though.
I like a square key. I like a
Like the old one Bo had.
Yeah, I like square keys, but
what's
I
a
wouldn't own one.
a
Couldn't do it.
2000 Wrangler
Eh.
are cool to look at, but my sister had a what was it? 2001 Wrangler with the 6-cylinder, and that was the biggest hunk of junk. and hunk of junk was a good word for it, because it sucked. It wobbled all the time on factory everything. You know, it was
Well,
just
yeah,
a
that's a
stock
factory
car.
feature.
And the what killed it off was it had no oil pressure at idle. So when you came up to a stoplight, you had to hold the brake and put the gas
Oh, we
down.
had a truck like that. We just pop it to neutral, and it'd go rev up just enough that you could see the gauge move.
Bo
Ooh.
was just talking about that the other day, how he doesn't like when people warm up cars because they don't get oil pressure and I guess like work trucks, this is like a common problem because they idle for so long in parking lots and on lunch and whatever. And
Well, hot idle is what's hard on them.
Yeah.
Because that's your lowest possible oil pressure.
when it's full up to temp and
As your viscosity is down.
I mean, it seems wasteful to have something
viscosity.
idling for hours, but
Ryan Derrick.
yeah.
well, like patrol cars were known for wiping out cam bearings for a long time.
Oh,
they're
because they
just
just
sitting.
sit.
Because
Yeah.
the amount of idle time on them.
Yeah, that's fair.
well, and like job site people that run equipment off their truck or whatever. I'm sure it's
3rd gen Eclipse, Brad. I don't think anyone actually ever liked those.
No, no
you
one
just
did.
ended up with one. And
Yeah.
I
those
remember.
were not good.
I remember I had a teacher in high school that bought a new car, and one of my friends knew that I kind of like cars, and came over and was telling me she got a new manual Eclipse. And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of out of character. Cool. And then I walk outside and I'm like, oh,
It was a spider.
oh, it's not really an eclipse. It's just called one.
Yeah.
I had such high hopes for the 4th gen Eclipse when it came out because it looked really cool, but they never did anything.
Tyler's haircut?
What? Overrated. Oh, it's Mike.
Yeah, I
All
agree.
right. That's fair.
The Tesla is underrated. You guys are all wrong.
Like, I'm not on the EV bandwagon. I don't want one. I have never driven one. I don't want to drive one. I don't like them. But I have yet to see someone on social media trashing them and actually have accurate information.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's
a good way to
all
put it.
it's all internet points that somebody else said.
The
So they're
car
saying it.
itself, EV aside, is severely underrated, I think.
Yep.
Being able to be around them and see all the features, the safety features, how they drive, the traction they have in adverse weather, like it's
cool.
EV aside, the other features built into that car are incredible. Like Zoom can pull his into the bay using his phone and remote control drive the car in. Like, that-
Anyone who says that isn't cool is lying.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine being 12 years old, and somebody's like, in the future, you're going to have an app on your phone, and your car is going to be in the parking lot, and you can move it to you without touching the car. And that it would blow everyone's mind. And now they're like,
No, that's some
EVs are dumb.
year 3000 movie crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we all like ICE engines. That's why we work here. We like the feeling that they give you. But Teslas are cool. Even some of the newer EVs are neat.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't think the world is ready for them. I don't think we have the infrastructure to support the charging needs. I don't think that it's the appropriate car for most people right now. But the car itself, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I still don't have a Tesla. Like I still don't want a Tesla, but I do love Teslas.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife has a Tesla, and it's great.
And it's awesome.
But like I'm not gonna like turn in my my ICE engines for one.
Yeah.
Well, and
Ooh, I just did it too.
ICE engines.
Yeah.
ICE
my
engines.
bad. Oh God.
you're fired.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is like Kyla, her house location and her job location allow owning a Tesla to be practical.
Yeah.
Like, if just imagine you lived somewhere that had electricity abundant all around you, but like 2 gas stations in the whole state, you wouldn't buy a gas car. That would be
Yeah.
a bad choice. So if you live somewhere where charging will be difficult, you just don't buy one.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get there eventually. We're not there yet. I understand that.
My wife's car gets 400 miles on one charge, and our house has electric because
It's a house.
it's a house, and she can charge
Not
it.
a shack.
She can charge it whatever day she wants, and it definitely easily charges overnight. Like, it's great.
And it's stupid fast. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
it's-
even the top model.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's a
dummy fast.
10-second car and gets 400 miles on one charge. Like, it's pretty amazing. And like what I like is that our engine cars, they put the brakes on things for traction, but with Tesla they don't.
They can limit the
actually
motor.
apply the appropriate amount of power to maintain traction instead of like cutting cylinders to cut power to all 4 tires, if you're an all-wheel drive car, obviously, or grabbing the brakes to try to stop the tires. Tesla just doesn't apply as much power to the spinning tire.
It's a perfect solution for traction control.
I think maybe an easier way to sum it up is the traction control we use on ICE cars is reactive.
Yes.
Whereas
There we go.
the Tesla doesn't have to react because it never overdoes it.
Yes.
And the sample rates at which they can
Yeah.
change is absurd compared to anything that a gas engine can do.
Like, obviously, it has to probably apply enough load to the tire to cause the beginning of slip so that it knows where the line is. But that happens so incredibly fast that there's zero comprehension
Yeah,
of
it
that
pulls like
happening.
thousands of times per second. You can't even.
Another cool thing, you can be driving on like 2 inches of snow and just stop and just floor it, and that car will blow your mind how fast it accelerates
Because it never spins.
perfectly in a straight line.
Yeah.
Like runs 13s on snow probably. Like it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
Like it's amazing. Like no gas cars touching that.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I'll grab one that I have a personal opinion on. Somebody said most overrated tire, and there's a couple I can think of. First being
I know
the Indy 500.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Because
That's got to be number one.
it was a really great value for the tire. But then
It didn't change.
Everyone started telling everyone about it, and it hasn't changed. And now those tires are twice or three times the price they used to be, and now they're overrated.
Sounds like another brand I know of.
Federal. They're not overrated yet. They haven't sold out to the man.
They're pushing it, though.
The man tried to get them down. The government said, no, you're too cheap. You're not important here. But they're back. They're just a little more expensive.
But they fail.
Also, R888s and any grippy Nitto.
Yes. Yeah, NATO's are terrible.
NTO1s, NTO5s, they all
Yeah,
suck.
they're all just so big sponsored at whatever.
Yeah,
that
they're
people like them.
they're ancient.
Kind of like Pirellis.
Go with Falcons.
Yes.
Go with Bridgestone.
Pirellis are over. Yeah, they're
Our
overrated.
888 had a good run, but I think it's pushing the overrated now.
Yeah, I think it's too old.
Like it, just get a drag radial at that point.
It's crazy how often the tire game changes. Like if I ever need tires, I always ask Tyler because every 6 months it's totally different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
Like
does.
the best brand is the worst brand, and the worst
Yeah.
brand is the like.
our 888s are still good.
Yeah, I mean, I have them on the back of my ATS-V, but I mean, it's the 200 treadwear game is so competitive that
Yeah.
nearly every 200 treadwear tire is better than a 100
Yeah.
R888R.
Yep.
Any final closing thoughts, guys? Grab any last comments? Or are we good to?
Any
good to
controversial
scatter?
things? I can't think of it.
I think we're all set.
Yeah.
Most mods are underrated, I would say, than overrated. But
Yep.
we definitely got a lot more than I thought we would have.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to run out of steam at about
Yeah.
30 minutes, but it was good.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. One quick thing. Next week or whenever we have the next podcast is episode 100. What do you guys want to hear? We want to do something special,
Yeah.
but
realistic
Well, it's-
ideas, please. Like things we can actually do.
Yeah, not like bring on some celebrity, but if you want to see anybody, Zoom, Matt, I don't know. We can
we'll figure it out.
we can
But
figure it out.
let us know. Somewhere, everywhere. Instagram, YouTube.
Retiring the honey badger is overrated.
It is.
It's got to happen.
It has to
eventually.
happen.
All right, guys. You have a good weekend, and we'll probably see you next week.
Yeah.
Cool. Have a good weekend.
Peace.
Bye.